Ladies and gentlemen, how sweep it is. What a wonderful weekend in Washington. Welcome to Monster Territory, brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Final score 6-4 today. Red Sox finished the sweep. How sweep it is. 46 and 45. They got above 500 yet again. Can they just keep this going? Please. We got the Rockies. I mean, come on. Like, if there is ever an opportunity to take a big step forward past 500, I mean, you got it right here. They do have a tough series coming up next weekend against the Rays, so that's going to be tough. But you got the Rockies. Please get a little further away from 500, for crying out loud. I need it. But big win today. Not one of these, blowout wins that we've been having here over the last week or so, right? A lot of runs against the Reds, a lot of runs in the first couple of games, 4th of July fireworks, more fireworks yesterday. Today was a bit more of a gritty one. Not the best from Garrett Crochet, but that's what an ace is. That's what the war pig is getting paid to do, even when he's not at his best. He's still going to keep you in the game for the most part. He actually had to deal with a rain delay today. He had a lot of rain in the second inning today. And, it is what it is. But he came out. It didn't look his best, but he got the job done. But for the offense, again, no fireworks today for the most part, but a couple of big home runs. Trevor Story, this guy is just red hot as of late. Alex Cora was just talking about Trevor Story post-game. You can see Alex Cora, I don't want to say getting emotional about Trevor Story, but really reflecting on the last few years with Story. And I'm seeing just some really, listen, I respect everyone's opinion. I value everyone's opinion. I like looking at all sides, when it comes to what people think about, certain topics. I like to look at all angles, but I don't understand what this is with Trevor Story over the last few days, or over the last few weeks. I mean, this guy's been amazing, but over the last couple of days, I'm seeing people on Twitter land saying, oh, you got to get rid of this guy while he's hot. He's just very streaky. The Red Sox got to sell high now while they can. I'm seeing some certain radio people out there. Well, listen, I do like listening to some of the radio guys out there. I think they're quite entertaining sometimes. I'm seeing here today, like, Trevor Story's not a good player. He's just hot. It's like, what are we talking about? When Trevor Story was with the Rockies for all those years, he was always very solid, right? And over the last few years here, he's had a hard time staying on the field. Last year in Anaheim, remember, Trevor Story got off to a great start last year, and the guy made a pretty ridiculous diving attempt, landing on his shoulder. Shoulder exploded, and he ends up missing so much time. You got to remember with baseball players, not even just baseball players, just athletes in general, routine is a big thing. And coming back from an injury, you got to remember, you're not only just coming back from an injury, but then you got to build yourself back up when you are healthy, right? To get back in the swing of things with Major League pitching. And when he came back this year, he was looking all right in the beginning, but then pitchers are making adjustments against him, and he's had to make these adjustments back, and he's been looking amazing as of late. So, again, I don't understand this weird hate towards Trevor Story over the last couple of days. It's like, when your players on your team are doing well, you should be celebrating that. Not, oh, we gotta get rid of this guy while he's hot. It's like, listen, I like Marcelo Meyer. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Marcelo Meyer. The guy is a cool cat. But listen, I want the veteran guy at shortstop right now while this team is trying to get to the postseason. You got to remember, it's not just about the stats. There's a real person there. And while I do like Marcelo Meyer a lot, I'd rather you kind of ease Marcelo Meyer into the major league level for this year, have the veteran like Trevor Story, and then we can have this conversation down the road. But I am loving what Trevor Story's doing. I don't understand these opinions about trying to get rid of the guy. I don't get it. It's weird. The guy's red hot. He's helping you win games. That is what matters. The guy is absolutely red hot. And let me actually pull up some numbers here with Mr. Trevor Story. Over his last 7 games, he is 13 for 28, hitting .464, a .483 on base, and .893 on the slugging. Over the last 30 games, he's hitting .313 with a .557 on the slugging, 7 homers, 5 stolen bases. The guy is playing great baseball as of late. Overall on the year, OPS is up above a 700. Remember when we were all thinking like, oh man, this guy's OPS, it's getting under 600, but here he is. Over 700. Sure, on base, I'd like for the on base to get a little bit better, but the guy's coming through in big spots. He's giving you extra base hits. He's giving you good production. Goodness gracious, I love me some Trevor Story right now. And it wasn't just Trevor Story, but Cedar Rafaela. This guy just continues to be one of the most underrated players in all of Major League Baseball. He's just looking great. Added another home run today. Seti, couple of spots today where the Red Sox, you're thinking, man, we could really use an insurance run right here. Came up in a couple of big spots like that today. Gotta love it here. You had some other guys in the lineup today. Roman Anthony staying productive. Roman is quietly playing very solid as of late. He's not getting these big moments like Trevor Story, Cedar Rafaela, but he's quietly producing. Gotta love what Roman Anthony's doing as of late. Nate Eaton today in the leadoff spot once again. And, hey, getting the offense going today, right? The Red Sox first inning, another good first inning, right? 4-run first inning to get things started there to set the tone for the day before the rain delay. Overall, just a good win today, a gritty win. We got to see Jordan Hicks late in the game to close it out today. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Greg Weissert, listen, I was trying to tell all of you, a little while ago, Greg Weissert, when the guy is on, he looks amazing. But when something is slightly off with Weissert, he gives you a heart attack, and you saw that again today. Justin Wilson obviously didn't help out today when he came in. But the bullpen, they had to battle here today. It was just a battle all the way around. But I see a lot of you here in the chat, a lot of familiar faces. We got Mike, we got Joe, we got Austin, we got Zachary, we got Mark. How you doing, guys? George, hello, my friend. How we doing? Thor, how you doing, guys? How we doing? Thank you for coming out today. If you are watching on Nesson, hope you're having a great day. But before we get to the post-game breakdown, we do have a word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
Building a hair growth routine is easy, only if you go with Nutrafol. Why is that, Todd Father?
Nutrafol, you think about hair. For me, sometimes the hair gets thinning. This thing will thicken your hair up as much as you need. You think about going to weddings or going to the beach or just hanging out with friends and you want to take photos. You want your hair to look good, and this is the best possibility for it.
Yeah, and thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth, that's not it, okay? They have multiple formulas for men and for women that are tailored to fit different stages of life, okay? So go check out Nutrafol. Building a hair growth routine can be easy, and you order online. There's no prescription needed as well. Free shipping, automated deliveries, and for a limited time, Nutrafol is offering the FT fam $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code FOUL, F-O-U-L. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code FOUL.
All righty, let's get to the offensive breakdown here today. The offense staying hot right out of the gates. 4-run first inning. They've been doing very well in the first inning or early in the games as of late, but they got off to a good start here today. Nate Eaton, leadoff base hit to right field. Roman staying hot, base hit to right. That scored Eaton, made it 1-0. Roman, in his last 29 ABs, he's got 10 hits. He's hitting .309 with an .833 OPS over his last 15 games. Like I said, Roman Anthony quietly producing for the Red Sox. And Rob Refsnyder, hey, listen, guys, the double R's, Rob Refsnyder, Romy, these guys are they're producing as of late. Rob Refsnyder with a double. That scored Roman, made it 2-0. Refsnyder on the year, making Robs looking great. My goodness. We need some more Robs out there, more Robs. But 276 on the year, batting 276 on the year with an .860 OPS. Rob Refsnyder, very good this year. And then Trevor Story coming through with the home run, 2-run shot. That made it 4-0. In the fifth inning, Cedar Rafaela staying hot, had a leadoff double. Like I said, you had a couple of spots today where you're looking for maybe a little bit more insurance. You just saw how this game was going today, a battle pretty much all the way through. So for Seti to come up in a nice leadoff spot like that with the double, that's big time right there. He moved over to third on the wild pitch. Romy with the sac fly. That made it 5-2. Ninth inning, Seti coming through once again. Big insurance home run. Just a straight dinger. You got to love what Cedon's doing, man. Let's check out the numbers with Cedon on the year. Let's take a look at the updated numbers here. Man, OPS is up to a 763. This man is inching closer and closer to an 800 OPS, man. Look at the 307 on base with Cedi. You got to love it. This is a guy that over the, going back to last year, having a little trouble with the plate discipline, getting on base, coming up in some big spots, but you like to see that 307 on base. Obviously, it could be a lot better, but you know what? I'll take it with Cedi. Batting average up to 264, 11 homers, 11 stolen bases. I think this guy has a legit shot at a 2020 season. I don't see why he couldn't get 20 stolen bases. He's already more than halfway there. He's more than halfway there to 20 homers. I think there's a real shot at a 2020 season. You got to love it, man. But that was it for the offense today. 6 runs overall. Let me actually pull up the final box score on the day. We'll check out the runners in scoring position. We'll look at the total hits. For the most part, they did their job here with runners in scoring position today. But overall, 12 hits on the day. They're getting a lot of hits as of late, man. A lot of hits. But actually, now we've been keeping track of this over the last few games. The Red Sox, they've been winning some games here with the strikeouts under 10. They had am I looking at the right one? Yes. 7 strikeouts on the day. Another win on the board when they have less than 10 strikeouts. You got to love it, man. You got to love it. Now, when it came to Garrett Crochet here today. Where are my buttons? I'm looking for my buttons. Let's go to Garrett Crochet. And like I said, it was a battle for him today. Not his best. Did have to deal with the rain delay, so it's never easy when you're, standing up, sitting down, right? You had to take a bit of a seat there for a little bit. That probably didn't help. Not using it as an excuse, but probably just didn't help him overall. Leading with the four-seamer like usual, but more hittable today on the four-seam fastball. Velo was looking fine, but just kind of leaving a little bit too much over the plate. These hitters were seeing it pretty well. With the fastball today, only a 16% whiff percentage. The average on the year for the fastball for him is a 31%, so not getting as much swing and miss on it today. He had 3 hard hit balls off the fastball. But he did get a key strikeout with it to James Wood in a bases-loaded situation in the second inning. So it was getting a little hairy there in the second inning, but he was able to get out of it. His cutter wasn't amazing here today. He had 3 hard-hit balls off of it. The sweeper and the sinker were some pretty solid pitches for him today, though. He was able to get some big outs there, had a big strikeout with the sweeper with a couple of runners on in the third. So, again, not his best, but he battled. Kept he in the game. 5 innings, 9 hits, 2 earned, 7 Ks, 2 walks on the day. Now, when it came to the bullpen here today, this is where it got a little dicey, right? Crochet, he was hittable, but he maneuvered. 7th inning. Well, Garrett Whitlock, good 6th inning for him. 7th inning, though, Justin Wilson got into some trouble. He came in to face the lefty Nate Lowe, walked him. Josh Bell with a base hit. He was able to get a couple of outs. He got Brady House on the flyout. That was the second out. Then here comes Greg Weissert. Greg Weissert, man, this guy is just running on fumes at this point. I think Carabas put something out there. I think he said maybe a phantom IL stint. Listen, I think if anyone needs the All-Star break, it's Greg Weissert at this point. He came in, he walked Riley Adams. Now, he had him on the ropes, 2-2 count. Just couldn't finish him off. Then he walked Luis Garcia. He had him on the ropes too. Had a 1-2 count. Couldn't finish him off. Then he got the pop out to Alex Call with the bases loaded. Goodness. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of hanging on to my buns for that one, man. That was not looking pretty. I'm like, come on, man. We got to finish off this sweep today. Please do not blow this game here today. Just a different feeling in the air with this one today. I know it's the Nationals, but still. Chapman, he came in for the 8th inning. I think that turned some heads. But you were at that part of the lineup where James Wood was coming up. You probably want to go to James Wood with some Aroldis Chapman there. But he got the leadoff base hit anyway. I think Lou Merlone put it well during the broadcast, saying, hey, you'd rather just give up a single than a home run here, right? But, got the leadoff base hit. He struck out Rosario and Lowe back-to-back, and then he got DeYoung on a line out to Duran. Now, I thought this was interesting. Jordan Hicks coming in for the ninth inning. In my head, we've been hearing the rumors swirling about Aroldis Chapman as of late. We've had, Jeff Passan, Jim Bowden, take him with a grain of salt. But, putting out there that someone like Aroldis Chapman could be heavily sought after at the deadline this year. And with the Red Sox, you do have some other arms that maybe you could turn to, but I totally see the argument hanging on to Aroldis Chapman because the guy's elite. He's been one of the best closers in baseball this year. If you want anything as close to a shutdown reliever that's pretty much going to come in and just close the door, it's Aroldis Chapman at this point. So I totally see the argument hanging on to him, but I also see the argument if a team throws something crazy at you, then maybe you really got to think about it. So this is where I get back to Jordan Hicks. He came in for the ninth inning. I'm thinking, all right, maybe this is a little bit of a tryout here for Jordan Hicks. If he dominates here, maybe that can, maybe some people in the front office, they'll say, oh, see, hey, look, we got ourselves a little Jordan Hicks here. Looking pretty good. But no, he was not looking all that good. I actually tweeted about it. Here right after the game, actually. This was my reaction after we got the win. Of course, I was celebrating. Of course. Absolutely. I'm happy with the sweep. But this was how I felt about Jordan Hicks. I put Jordan Hicks as a possible future closer for the Red Sox. But that was me after he gave up a 107.5 mile per hour out, 2 walks, and an RBI base hit in a 23-pitch ninth inning. It was not an easy one for Mr. Jordan Hicks today. He got the job done. He maneuvered his way around. But yeah, that's pretty much how I felt about Jordan Hicks today. Obviously, we still got a little bit more time until the deadline. Maybe he gets another opportunity here at some point. But yeah, seeing that, I kind of was thinking to myself, yeah, I would like to hang on to Chapman here. Let's hang on to him. And we'll go address needs and bring back some value with some other guys out there. So that's it for the post-game recap here. We do have the Rockies series coming up. Hopefully we can get another sweep. If there's ever a chance to get back-to-back sweeps, you're looking at it right in the face with the Colorado Rockies coming into town, a World Series rematch of 2007. Before we get to that, though, we do have one more word from our sponsor. I'll be right back.
FT fam, did you know that Huel has sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it is your turn to try it while I drink it.
Drink up, Scott, so I can discuss Huel and how I love it. I had some for breakfast this morning. I like to drink it post-workout because of the protein included in it. It always tastes delicious, whether it's strawberry, banana, chocolate, vanilla, whatever the flavor is. It tastes like a dessert, honestly. It should not taste as good as it does.
I agree. New customers get 15% off plus a free gift at Huel.com when you use the FT code. That is FOUL, F-O-U-L, at Huel.com/FOUL. Don't miss out. Try Huel today for a perfectly balanced meal. If you miss a meal, if you're looking for a little protein boost, you just saw me drinking the Black Edition ready to drink. There's the vanilla flavor. I love what the chocolate brings to the table. It's really damn good. So give it a shot, FT fam. 15% off plus a free gift for new customers with the code FOUL.
That just froze. I don't know what just happened here. I think I might have to restart the computer here tonight. Anytime I don't restart my computer for a little while, that's when it gets slow. Remember before I was trying to share the screen and it just would take like 2 hours to do it. But then I restarted my computer one day and then all of a sudden it made things better. So I think that's what it is. Anyway, but before I actually get to this, I see a few comments in the chat. I hope you know that when we do have the sponsor playing, I do take a look at the chat. And I'm seeing actually some pretty interesting comments. Saying here, Money Mike, Chappie deserves all-star nod. I do think they are announcing the all-star rosters here tonight. I think at 6, unless they've already announced it. Have they announced anything here? Or is that it's usually like 6 o'clock, I think. Or have they already announced it? Hold on a sec. Oh, so Alex Bregman, he got voted to the All-Star game? Oh, hold on. It looks like they've announced it. Here we go. Oh, they started at 5. Oh, I remember didn't they start at like 6 o'clock last year? All right, here we go. All right, well, really quick before we get to the post-game recap. Well, let's get to this here. Let me pull this up because this is something that we can react to. Now, no starters. Is my keyboard dead? I think my keyboard's dead. Oh, my keyboard is dead. I can't type. Oh, well, okay then. Well, hold on a second. Here we go. Let me see if I can get to it this way. Hold on a sec. I can't believe my keyboard's dead. All right, well, I can do some clicking here. We can maneuver that way. All right, here we go. Okay, the Red Sox have been posting it. Here we go. All right, so Garrett Crochet, no surprise here, getting named to the All-Star team. I mean, obviously. Now, this is an interesting one. I wonder, with the workload from Garrett Crochet, I wonder if the Red Sox would want him to pitch in the game. I mean, I would imagine, I would think he's probably going to, but he has had a pretty high workload. I wonder if they would like for him to just stay off the mound. I don't know. I'm not really sure how that works. But, gives him a chance to, go an inning. I mean, it would be an inning. It wouldn't be any more than that, I would think. The Aroldis Chapman, 8-time All-Star. I mean, Chapman's been one of the best relievers in the game, one of the best closers in the game. No surprise here. So, Chapman. And then Alex Bregman. To me, I think Bregman deserves this. Now, yes, he went down with the injury, and I guarantee a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he got hurt. He hasn't even played for the past month. Why is Alex Bregman in the All-Star game? Well, if we go take a look here at the leaderboards. Hold on a second. If we take a look-see at the third base rankings when it comes to Fangraph wins above replacement. So actually, he's no longer qualified. So let's just go to at least 50 ABs. Now, among all American League, let's go to American League. Now, in the American League, among all third basemen, he still ranks 6th overall in Fangraph WAR, but that's over 51 games. While, Garcia, Clement, Paredes, McKinstry, those guys are almost at 90 games. And Bregman, in just around half of the game, or a little more than half of the games, he's still right there. So, I mean, I think with what he was doing over that time, I mean, he was absolutely on his way to at least getting a close vote with Jose Ramirez. I think Jose Ramirez deserves to start the All-Star game, no question there. But I think if Bregman would have stayed healthy and he was playing all the way through, I think that would have been a really close vote. But to me, I just think with what he did over that time, maybe I sound like a biased homer here for the Red Sox, but he was so good. I mean, the guy, but before he went down, he was hitting .299, a .385 on base. That's still higher than all these guys in front of him. I actually think that's the highest. Yeah, that is still the highest among American League third basemen. And he still has the highest slugging among American League third basemen. To me, actually, when you take a look at the overall offense, he is still number 3, and that's behind McKinstry. But McKinstry, he's been playing all over the place. I mean, third base is where he's played the most, but if you're looking for just a pure third baseman, Bregman has been easily one of the best offensive third basemen, and not just the American League, but all of Major League Baseball. So I think that's deserved. To me, the guy was great. Obviously, he's not going to play. I would imagine he's not going to play. I think that would be pretty crazy. Now, I see you in the chat, CHA92, no Narvaez is crazy. Yeah, I think you could probably say that's a decent snub. Now, when it comes to catchers, let's take a look at the catchers here in the American League. Cal Riley, obviously, being the starter here. When it comes to, let me actually go to the qualified guys here. Alejandro Kirk, hold on a second. Let me pull up here at least 200 ABs. Funny enough, Carlos Narvaez is not considered a qualified player. But Alejandro Kirk, I think he's in there. Did he get voted in there? I think he probably did. Shea Langeliers, he's been hitting for some pop here, 459 on the slugging. Kirk has had very good defense this year. I think you can make the argument that Narvaez should have been there. It is what it is. But to me, I'm happy with what we got here. Hey, pretty strong showing overall. But let's get to the Rockies series. Let's get to the Rockies series here. Where are the probable pitchers? There we go. Just making sure here. We are just about out of time here on NESN. If you do want to watch the rest of the show to see the Rockies preview, come on over to YouTube, Monster Territory, and come catch the rest. But NESN, thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the sweep here tonight. And we'll be back here tomorrow night for game 1 of the Rockies. Now, let's get to the Rockies. Austin Gomber. Remember Austin Gomber? He came back in the Nolan Arenado trade to the Rockies, right? Austin Gomber still out there, but Richard Fitz gets the game 1 nod. Cal Freeland. I'm just going to say, these guys have not been good for the Rockies. I mean, Cal Freeland, he has been, my goodness, he's 1-9, a 5.49 ERA. Goodness gracious. But Brian Bayo gets the nod for game 2. And then Lucas Giolito, he's been red hot. Let's hope Lucas Giolito can just keep this going here. My goodness, he's been amazing. But then you get Antonio Senzatella for game 3 as well. I mean, the Rockies have been just uber bad this year. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. They've been terrible. They're definitely on their way to going for one of the all-time losing seasons, 20-69 as we speak. Now, with Richard Fitz, remember, in his last start, got cut short. Remember, he had the rain out there on the 1975 night, that great-looking graphics. I say they got to bring those graphics back a little bit more. I say maybe like once a month. Is that too much to ask? Like once a month, go back to a classic time or something, or at least, I don't know, once every other month. I love the way that looked. It looked great, and people all around Major League Baseball were praising that presentation. I thought it looked good. But Richard Fitz, overall, the numbers don't look amazing with him, but he's still trying to work his way back here since coming back from the strained pec. But I think he has looked okay in the last couple of outings here. And then if we take a look here at Brian Bayo, he looked pretty solid against the Reds too. Him and Richard Fitz, they tag team there for that final game. And Brian Bayo came in. He looked pretty solid over 5 innings, 3.42 ERA on the year now. FIP is still a little high at a 5.54. That's because the strikeouts have been down. He's down 2 strikeouts per 9 this year compared to last year. So the walks are up a smidge. But we are seeing Bayo start to look a little better here as of late. And then Lucas Giolito, he's been amazing here. Obviously, 4th of July, he looked great against the Nationals. He's been amazing. ERA under a 1 over the last 5 starts. He's been amazing. ERA at a 3.66, FIP at a 3.86 on the year. You've been getting great pitching from these guys. To me, I know I probably sound like very biased, very homerish, but it's the Rockies, man. They've won 20 games all year. At the end of the day, you want series wins, but if there's ever a time to go for a sweep, this is it. It's not a good Rockies team. Now, however, I will show respect to some of the guys they got here. Let's take a look at some of these guys in the lineup. Now, you got a couple of guys, right? Tyler Freeman, Tyra Estrada, they have been playing pretty well as of late. Hunter Goodman has been having a pretty solid year at the catcher spot, has a 119 WRC+. He's been pretty good overall. Jordan Beck, he's been hitting pretty well, just around a little bit above a league average WRC+ at 104. But then you look at all these other guys, man. Ryan McMahon, that's a notable name. I wonder if he ends up getting moved at the deadline. But he's a lot worse, actually, on the road. He's not even good. Maybe I can't remember if it's worse, but it's not good. Ryan McMahon, I'm not really too worried there. He is going to play some good defense at third base. Now, Michael Toglia, he hit a lot of homers last year, but he's been really struggling with the bat this year. Only has a 649 OPS, a negative 1.3 FWAR. Just not really a whole lot when it comes to this lineup. I mean, their best guy, we're not even going up against their best guy in Herman Marquez. Chase Dollander, we're not going to see him either. That's a pretty electric arm for the Rockies. And, well, the Red Sox, they're not going to have to deal with him. Again, they're getting Gomber, Freeland, and Senzatella. Now, Freeland, ERA is a 5.49. The FIP is a 3.82, though. So keep that in mind because he doesn't give up a lot of home runs. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts either, 6.5 per 9, but he does keep the ball in the yard. Let me actually pull up Freeland here. I think out of the three, this is going to be their toughest matchup. We'll take a look-see. Oh, well, I can't pull it up here because my keyboard is dead. I don't know why. This keyboard has been dying on me lately. I got to go get myself a new keyboard. Well, I can't type in Freeland. Either way, a guy that's going to come at you with a fastball. He's got a knuckle curve. He's got a slider. He's got a cutter. He's got a few different pitches that he plays with. He gets weak contact. That could end up being maybe a frustrating matchup. We'll see how that goes. But with how these guys have been pitching as of late, I'm feeling pretty good. And especially with the way the bats have been coming home after a good road trip in Washington. I'm feeling pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling pretty good. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Good weekend. Good 4th of July weekend. I hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend, by the way. I hope you all spent it with some family, some friends. Here we are, middle of summer. I guess the bats are heating up with the weather. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if we can get a sweep against the Rockies, and then you get a tough series against the Rays before the All-Star break. But everybody, if you can on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.